Hey, good day. Dr. Prodigal here, just coming to you. I had a couple of things I had to do and take care of today. Um, not all of the time. People tend to grieve quite a bit. I grieve a little. A friend of mine I won't see here anymore, but yet he's in my future. But as I was preparing to do a eulogy and different things of that nature, I happened to run across something in Proverbs. And I know it's a very familiar passage of scripture, but this time I guess God wanted me to smile and just brighten up some because I'm feeling a little down that my friend is gone from this realm, but he's still in my future. So I was reading it as I was preparing, and God said, "This is the rap line. You have to make a quick video for the brothers." So for all the brothers, this is for you. It's interesting how we often see the Bible as something very way out there. We can't touch it. We can't come close to it. We can't understand it. But yet God has things hidden in plain sight for us. And in this one, I want to think about it. I did do a little study on one of the two verses I'm going to read before, but this one, this time it really stood out. This is a holy rap. So when you want to talk to that sister, this is where your head begins. This is where you begin. Because once it comes out of here, you've already either caused it to live or caused it to die. Now, this is what I'm saying. I'm just going to read this real quick. I got a new pair of glasses too, so let me see how I look in this. Yeah, I look okay, and there's still reflection and all. But Proverbs 18, 21, and 22. And it reads as follows: "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Now the next verse: "Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain favor of the Lord." Makes you think, right? "Whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain favor of the Lord." But now, the Message Bible breaks it down even more. "Words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose. For a good spouse, you find a good life, and even more, the favor of God." So I had to do a little exegesis in this thing and go all the way down there. And I said, "Well, Lord, you're making me smile now with this, which is good." So he said, think about it. When you come to the woman and you want to talk to her, you on your best behavior. You're speaking life. "Hey, I know you're very beautiful. I'm enjoying your company." Well, you know some other rap lines, but you know I'm giving you the ones that we should be using. "You're very beautiful," or something of that nature. So you speak in life. You don't walk up to her and say, "Yo, you're back. What's up with you?" Because no. You're speaking life. And so we always hear that we speak life and other things. But what about when we're looking for a spouse? So what are we doing looking for a spouse? Death and life are in the power of your tongue. So what are you speaking? First of all, you must be prepared. As I tell young women, and especially my daughters, a man needs to be just like Adam in the Garden of Eden. They say, "How? What is that?" Well, first of all, he has to have a relationship with God. He has to have a job, and he has to have some place to take her. So Adam walked with God in the cool of the day. His job was to dress and keep the garden, the complete garden. And when Eve came on the scene, God didn't have to make another garden. God had a place for him. And Adam took Eve right where he was at. When God brought it to her, they was home. So those are the things that I look at. But in this one, I found it very interesting. One day I was speaking to someone, a mentee of mine, a wonderful young man. He just cracks me up at times. But he was getting ready to get married. He was really, I think he was thinking of getting married, or he possibly was going to ask her to marry him. So we were speaking of this verse, "A man that findeth a wife." So I did a word study in Hebrew on that word wife. Well, the root word is isha, which means woman, but the prefixes and the suffixes is what makes the word. So as I began to deal in it, and another friend of mine, I had to call her because the Hebrew just tears me up at times. All of it came together to mean as that word wife, This is a woman that has been presented or offered unto God, and God has blessed her mightily. So, as I began to look in the King James Version, yes, I read it to you. There were some things there, but English is such a bastardized language. We steal words from everywhere else. We twist words and all of that. So what did I do? I kept looking at that word with the root word Isha, woman. And the more that it was explained and I could see how it was really recorded, it meant that woman that's very special. So, this woman that God gave this man, he found a wife. He found that specific woman that's already offered to God, and she in turn has quite a bit in her from God. And because of that woman, the man obtains the favor of God. No, it doesn't go like with the punctuation that the King James has it. A man that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and obtains favor of the Lord. But the way the Hebrew read is because of her, then I obtained the favor of the Lord. And right at that time, just as you would know it, here come a little sneak attack from the enemy. My wife comes around the corner, and she says something just as crazy and performing like Skippy the Seal. And I just looked at her. I'm like, okay, because why even, go with you? You already recognize what it is. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. So I just looked at her because I know the spirit was going to stay too long. And as she left, I just kind of smiled. Well, my mentee said, now you remember, because of her, you got the favor of God. And we just fell out. But bruh, that's your rap line. When you see her, be careful how you come to her, because what happens? She is that special one. At least you hope she is. And because of her, you're going to obtain favor of the Lord. So you have to speak life into her that she may birth life into you. Why do I say that? Because when you speak to a woman, your words are seed. Jesus used that as the parable of the sower. So when you plant that seed, you're going to get a harvest. When you give a woman a seed, she going to give you back something more. So what seed are you going to plant? It's the same as if you give her a little itty bitty seed, she gives you back a baby. 8-9 pound baby in 9 months. Increase. She's going to increase. God has blessed her to increase whatever you give her. That's why Adam should have gave Eve a little bit more, because she increases what she was given. Since he didn't give it all to her, the enemy gave her something, and she increased that too. To the point that Adam said, maybe I want some of that too. Wasn't all Eve's fault. Adam was right there, and Adam didn't give her the right seed in the beginning. He gave her a half a seed. And you can't open a seed up and plant half of it and expect it to grow. You need both sides to it. So now, here we are again, these seeds that you speak. What seeds are you speaking into her? And y'all brothers that's married, what seed are you speaking into your wife? Because if you give your wife love, she gonna give you a happy time. You give your wife a house, she gonna make it a home. You give your wife an attitude, she gonna give you back something more than just that attitude. It's gonna be rough up in that house that she made a home, and them smiles are not going to be there anymore. So I began to just really meditate on that today, to the point that I didn't listen to any music driving. It was about an hour each way driving. Didn't listen to music. All I did was pray and just meditate on that verse. And it boils down to it, because we have to be the hunter to get that woman. So now, first of all, we got to know what we're looking for. She has to display outwardly that God has blessed her inwardly, and now it's just radiating through her spirit and into society. So that's one. Now, if you want to go someplace else, then that's another thing. And you can't, I learned a new word because I was seeing this, and this is a little sidebar. People have words that they just say, and I couldn't believe it. But the word, I finally asked somebody, well, what does that mean? And when they told me, they said, well, we used that 5 years ago. That's old. Well, maybe I'm slow because I'm not the one that speaks urban vernacular that much. So, as I'm looking at these seeds, you can't walk up to her and say, yo, you, come here, ugly, or you, what was the word, thought. Yeah, come here, thought. Well, you already know what that is. So now, I was the only one probably on earth that didn't know. But now, that is not going to do anything but plant a negative seed for a negative harvest. Even if you do wind up with the girl, then you got a negative one because the seed that you planted. Now, this is what I did. I'm going to let you in on a secret of what I did with my wife. I began praying for her before I knew she existed. I made a point to tell God, I don't want to see nothing else. I want you to present her to me. What did he do? He presented her. And I knew not to open up my mouth on anything. Me and God talked about it. Lord, what I asked you for. He said, did you want me to present her, or did you want to get something to make it your present? Okay, well, okay, Lord. Best decision I ever made was to allow God to show me how to love my wife. The best decision I made was for God to show me, and say, get your mess straight. She's going to have enough of her own. You get yours straight. Now, when I say all of that, that word wife in Proverbs 18:22, that is my wife. That is her all the way. Because of her, I was blessed already of God, but because of her, she has increased my blessing. She has been that woman. She does it. Do I meet her halfway all the time? No. Sometimes I just don't know. Come on, brothers, let's get real. We don't speak womanese. Or as I used to tell my son, when you get married, you have to speak weology. And he said, well, what is that? I said, well, you have to study the weology and speak the weology. Because when they say, we need to do this, really what they're saying is, you need to do it. But we have to be presented. So all of this, I say that I'm glad I bit my tongue when I first spoke to my wife. What happened? She was cutting grass. I was telling my daughter, I said, well, a gentleman should do X, Y, and Z. And so I saw it. I said, let me be a gentleman. Back the car up. Would you like me to help you cut your grass? Yeah. Very, very short. I should have known now I understand why she was short. She was hot. She was tired, and the grass was acting up, and the lawnmower was acting up. So, we went through a little vicissitude. I said, well, when would you like it done? Well, tomorrow. She was real smart. Now, my daughter's sitting next to me in the car, and I just had this talk, 10 minutes ago with her? And I'm thinking the whole time, I need to say, well, let me go find you some goat to cut your grass, because you acting stank. So I can speak a little bit of urbanites. But, I didn't say it. Drove off, and the whole time I was thinking about it. I'm glad I didn't say anything. I did tell her what I was going to do when I was going to do it, and I did it. Well, I think I spoke this on one of the recordings. She wrote a note and said, God sends what you need when you need it. Now, I didn't know this lady. I put on there, okay, you want to get gospel? Let's do this. Exceedingly abundantly more than you could ask or think. And I put my own number on it and stuck it in the door, and she ain't called me. But needless to say, I'm glad she didn't. She maintained being a lady. And then I found out that was her nickname, Lady. She maintained being a lady. So this is what happened. As it progressed, I would speak seeds of life into her. Seeds of life, seeds of life, seeds of life. I began to see her develop. And even time since we've been married, there's been some time you don't want to speak life. You really don't. But you do because you're supposed to. And I watched God take over. I watched God do it. So I'm thinking, death and life is in the power of the tongue. Not only out in the world, or people say, I'm speaking into the universe. You speak into the universe. I ain't. Whole lot in the universe I don't understand. Whole lot in the universe I don't want. So I ain't throwing no words out in the universe. Death and life is in the power of my tongue. Well, you best believe I'm going to use those words just like sniper bullets. They are specifically for targets. And the target is speaking directly to God and speaking directly to whatever's on this earth. Other than that, I'm not putting it in the universe. Oh, what do we say? Oh, there's nothing there. No, I'm not going to include all that New Age jargon in it. No, because your words continue to have life too. Why do I say that? God said, let there be light, 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 light. And that's how the Hebrew speaks of it, as it's a continuing word. So now when they're saying they found new galaxies and they find different things in the Hubble telescope, okay, you're only proving what the Bible said. When God said, let there be light, there's going to continually be light until he speaks of something new, which is going to come behind it. So what do you do with this? When you see that lady, fellas, make it up in your mind. Don't get stupid and say, well, I like her body or something like that. No, you better be looking in the spirit and understand what you speak out your mouth. What you speak, you will have the fruit of your lips. That's in the verse above too. You will have the fruit of your lips. So now, what are you going to speak when you meet her? And I'm saying this because I'm thinking, first of all, you should be single and she should be single. Got to say that in churches nowadays for some reason. Like, of all people, we should know. But fortunately, it doesn't happen like this. So what happens? You speak it. You speak life. And now, apart from that, you speak it in your relationships. You speak it in your home. You speak it in what's coming. And I'm not saying to, do no abracadabra genie thing with God. Lord, I'm speak death and life in the power of my tongue, so I speak a Bentley to life. Well, you don't even have a driver's license, no other than that. You can't even afford gas, much less the insurance payment and the car payment. So stop speaking stupid. But when it comes to your relationships and the one that God is showing you, even the word of God, you speak it. Always speak it. Speak life. And now that you have the key to having that swag, that rap, when you see girly girl, oh, look at you, girl, you fine as frog hair. I ain't never seen a frog with, long nappy hair. Oh, girl, But whatever you do, don't tell her she was an angel that fell from heaven. My niece had me in stitches and tears when somebody said that to her. And she turned around her little cute self and looked at him and said, oh, now you just called me Satan. So choose your words wisely. But remember, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So I want you to remember that. When you see that person that you want to spend your life with, start speaking life. And then wait to see if she speaks life back. Okay? Because of her, you're going to obtain a different favor of the Lord that you may never have experienced. Okay, this is Dr. Prodigal. Hit me up at Dr. Prodigal on Twitter. I'm getting happy now. I'm starting to deal with this. Young people are teaching me. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. And not only that, you can also email me. So, do you want to email me? I do receive a bit of email now, and I'm really thinking of making a specific email just for that, so I won't say anything just yet. But you can always, I'll leave it open for comments. Put down any information you want. Let me know how to contact you if you need something privately, and we'll work it from there. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go speak some life into my wife. Yeah, I'm going to keep speaking life into her because I don't want her to give me back more from what I gave her. So if I give her some crazy words, she's liable to give me back a crazy day. I won't do it. God bless you all. I hope to see you soon in some form. And if I don't see you before Resurrection Sunday, you enjoy yourself. Do that for me. Okay? And maybe, God will show you something, brothers. All right. Holler back at me.